Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to LEGO Rock Raiders PlayStation 1 versions, more specifically the American version rather than the European version which we have been playing thus far, to which I am unable to talk about due to my face not functioning properly, but goodness knows you already knew that. To which I am reliably informed is somewhat different to the European version, apparently has different levels, and I believe also slightly different gameplay, so I thought it would be worth at least doing one video on it to have a little look at it. So yes, I don't know how possibly stupid I've been to actually completely forget that I need to plug in a controller, because of course I can't do this with mouse and keyboard, because I'm a complete muppet, but never mind. Give me about 16,000 years, about another 1.05 million videos or so, and eventually I'll figure out what the hell it is I'm doing in my life. Right then. Eventually, we will get on with the game. Right, I wish to play in one-player mode, please, given there's no other modes you can play in. That's weird, I don't remember that loading word being there before. Let me get rid of the keyboard shelf, given we don't need that. Goodness, Jet's mission, Doc's mission, Spark's mission, Bandit's mission, Axel's mission. Well, this is already vastly different, isn't it? Interesting, so do you not get to pick who you play as? Start with Jet, I suppose. Do you still get to choose who you get to play as, or is there like a pre-selected individual for each level? I don't know. Goodness, we've barely begun and it's already different. Your main objective is to collect the green energy crystals and return home safely. Along the way, you will encounter water and lava. You will have to use Jet's modified jetpack to jump over these obstacles. We've also been down a tunnel scout for you to fly over a large lava lake. There are also red energy crystals to collect, but you might have to drill some rock to find it, as we cannot pinpoint it on our scanners. Good luck, Rock Raider! Oh goodness, yes, this does look slightly different, doesn't it? Okay, so there's no time limit for, there's no time limit for getting bronze or silver, but if you do it super quick, you might get a gold. Interesting! Right then, so you... No, I can't pick anyone else. I can move the controls about, but doesn't do any good. I can only have Jet. Okie dokie then. Yes, so she has her jetpack. She can jump around like some sort of spring chicken. Excellent. Right then. Goodness. It's like a trading card. Oh gosh, that reminds me of those weird Lego... Weird things Lego sold for... You are kidding me. This isn't what I think it is it? How do I even do this? What the hell? Which one am I? Oh gosh, I'm crap at these. No, genuinely, I'm seriously appalling at these things. This is a nice little time waster, though. Weird to see anything actually taking place in a loading screen. I thought that was practically against the law when it came to video games, to actually put anything that kind of whiles away the time for loading screen. But hey, that's cool. That's a nice little thing. Bit weird, but hey ho, I ain't complaining. Press start to begin. I don't know what the start button is. I presume it's this one. Oh goodness, and you beam in as well, which wastes 3 of your seconds. But never mind, you can't have everything in life. This seems different. This seems much more refined, almost, as if they had a bit of time to work. Did the American version get released after the European version? Because if I remember my retro gaming history correctly, European versions usually came out later. Generally, at least, it was the Japanese release, then the American release, and then the European release would be the rough order of the day. At least it certainly was that way with consoles, if I remember correctly. Maybe games were different. Well done, you have found a green energy crystal. Ensure that you find the rest on the way to the teleporter. Oh, and there's a noise, and we don't start at the teleport pad. Presumably we have to return there, though. Interesting. This is indeed vastly different. I can see why I was encouraged to play both. And it goes zoom. And what is this? What is this large rock phallus that we see here? I don't know. In fact, I have Neaboldi sweating. Could you pick it up? Thank you very much. Also, can I just jump around as much as I want? So there's no, drainable stamina or anything. Interesting. This really is very different. But yeah, I don't know, the little sound effects and the little bits of extra dialogue, they really do seem as if this is a later version. Like they took the first one and then they carried on working on the American version for a couple more months or something in order to put in a little bit more detail. So that's very interesting. I don't know why exactly they would have done that. I can't even begin to guess. Oh goodness! I don't have to deal with the bonkers backwards, upside down, relative to which direction you're facing controls. I mean, not relative to which direction you're facing controls. Oh my giddy aunts. I see now why the person who helped me set up this emulator said that most people consider the American version to be superior. Frankly, after seeing this, I can begin to agree with them. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's the thing I can never quite decide whether or not I prefer the era of video games when you've got different versions of games on different systems, or nowadays where you get the same version no matter what system you're on. Because on the one hand, this sort of retro era gives you the opportunity to explore lots of different versions of a game, depending on, you have reached the teleporter to exit the cavern, but you could go on to find the red energy crystal. You may need to drill through some rock, though. I'll try to remember that, thank you. Oh, okay, so you sort of can pick those up, but only if you park your bum on them. Interesting. I drill through here. Yeah, because on the one hand, having the different versions means that you can, you sort of almost get more game, as it were, if you're able to access the different versions, and you aren't sort of restricted by region locking or anything like that, which presumably most emulators aren't. But then on the other hand, well, I don't know, I suppose it doesn't matter in retrospect, but in retrospect it was a bit of a bummer if you were playing the European version at the time, knowing full well that the Americans were getting a superior version of the game. I don't quite know how to feel about that. There we are, I picked it up by sitting on it. Excellent. I wouldn't really advise that you shove sharp, hard crystals up your arse, but hey-ho, you can do whatever you want with your life. And I land on top of the teleport pad. Oh, I can't, that's a tragedy. Okie doke. Well, that was a nice little tutorial mission. We did it and everything. Indeed, you have returned home safely in Master Jet's jetpack. Why did you say modified jetpack? My brain didn't even pick up on that at the beginning, because it seems so pointless to say the word modified jetpack. You mean they've all got jetpacks? Is that why they can jump a bit? Interesting. Perhaps yes, perhaps no. Okay, so we still have, many little noises to listen to. We still have our little passwords as well, so, and little cutscenes as well, I think we saw last time, so, yes, so, let's do another level. That seems like a sensible thing to do with our day. I quite like this. This is quite surprising. Who should we be next? Let's do Bandit. I feel like we didn't utilize Bandit all that much in the European version, despite his amazing ability to walk over the water, which still frankly shocks me that no one else can swim. But never mind. Your main objective is to collect the crystals to power. For the ship's power. Shouldn't there be an apostrophe there? Never mind. When we go to space, we don't need no stinking apostrophes. We have selected you for this mission because of the modified shield does not take damage from water. There are some life forms down there, but if you are good enough, you will make it past them, for they are very, very interested in whether you are a good boy or a naughty boy. Presumably they're related to Santa Claus. And there's a red crystal as well. Okay, so basically the same situation as before. So do these levels act as like a tutorial then, in order to teach you that all of the different characters have different abilities? Oh, I see, it's not just the little people. Was it a complete coincidence then that we got Jet on Jet's mission? Because that seems a little bit random. How does this work again? Oh, you use the D-pad for this, isn't it? I don't know why I'm going to bother trying to do this, because there's no way under the sun I'm going to get it right, and it's going to distract me massively and prevent me from actually talking to you. But, hang on a second. There's a little bit of it done, sort of. Yeah, sorry, this just kind of blows me away, the fact that there's something in a loading screen to take your mind off things. It's like, I've played a hell of a lot of video games. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Well, apart from maybe in Assassin's Creed, where there was that little empty world where you could just sort of run around a little bit, but I feel like that was we found the source of that Minecraft sound effect. Let's bounce around a bit. Why are these look, I don't know how well you can see them on the map. Oh, there we are, that's a bit better. Look, there's these funny black blobs on the map. Do you think those are these? Can I drill these? No, seemingly not. Alright then. I'm curious. No, no, sorry, I keep getting distracted. All sorts of different things. This is surprisingly more different than I expected it to be. Yes. I've played a hell of a lot of video games, and I can't think of any that have really had any kind of little time wasters in the loading screen. So that seems like such a no-brainer to put a little time waster in the loading screen. Hello, you little vicious beast. You disgusting little varmint. Don't wish to deal with you today, if you don't mind. Leave you well alone. Let's just pop out here. There we go. Thank you very much. I love the fact that the camera faces in the direction you're driving. That makes my life so much easier. It does mean you're going to be able to tell what part of me crashing into stuff is just the fact that I suck at the game, rather than the controls just being a bit balmy. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get through here unless I can find either a drilling machine or a bit of dynamite. A bit of dynamite does sound like a lot of fun, however, if I could avoid getting shot by these territorial little fellows. But yeah, I reckon that these few levels here are designed to act as tutorials so that you can learn how the different characters function and their different abilities, so that when you then go into future levels, you've got a better idea of what folks might be more useful for you. Can I drill while I'm in the water? Oh, I can. I'm pretty sure we never had to do that in the European version. Can I find some? I can indeed. Hooray! I have got a big boom boom stick, and I'm going to use my boom boom stick to make things go, well, boom boom. Frankly, no what else you expected. Yeah, let me get back in here and reverse my way back. See, look, I'm so good at this game now, I can even do it back to front. Sorry, I don't know why I'm so bad at those other controls, I just sort of am. What's the drop button? It'd be that one, which is X for me, but goodness knows what it is on PlayStation. That's interesting. I'm going to leave it here, actually. Oh, no, I'm not, because I can't leave it here. Interesting. So you can sort of diffuse dynamite by getting into vehicles. How very interesting. No, you can diffuse dynamite by going off the screen. Interesting. This presumably doesn't have half as much range as I think it's going to, then. It's a hell of a longer fuse than I was expecting. Oh, you can press a plunger by pressing, again, for me, the X key. In order to in order to blow them up, like in the cutscene. Interesting. I don't know why they changed that, but that's an interesting thing to change. Certainly makes dynamite a hell of a lot safer. Even though dynamite would have been relatively safe to use in the well, it was safe to use in the European version because, of course, you were in control of your own character and you could run out of the way in order to prevent it from blowing up. Too near to you, and in the PC version it was mostly only dangerous because the AI was so terrible it refused to walk in the correct direction. But never mind any of that. Okie dokie, this is going well, tremendously well, if you ask me. That isn't tremendously excellent, but that's alright because we don't have to deal with that. Righty-ho! Who shall we play as next? I feel we should play as Sparks next. Or maybe Axel. No, let's do Axel, because Axel really was the unsung hero of the European version, because I don't think I ever really used him, because his main ability is that you can drive vehicles faster, and goodness knows I didn't need the vehicles to go no faster than they already did. To help you on your way, we have beamed down a small digger, as we think there will be a lot of drilling to do, and this will speed along the process. Watch out, for we have detected life forms down there, but you will be safe inside the digger. Some dynamite has been left from the last Rock Raiders who were down there, which might help you collect any red energy crystals. Okay, so it's going to be like last time, and there'll be hard rock that needs to be destroyed. Why are Sparks' eyes so small? I don't know. Never mind. Sorry, I don't know why this blows my mind so much, right? Like, this is such a simple thing, right? The thing is it's incredibly simple, it's incredibly uncooperative. It's incredibly simple, and yet it never struck me that this should be a thing, despite the fact that it's blatantly obvious a thing that ought to be a thing. But, yeah, well, I've really bollocked this up, haven't I? I might as well just let the loading screens go by, because we both know I'm never going to get any of these done correctly. I wonder what that yellow button does. Do you think that sort of resets it or something? I have absolutely no idea. No, you can just press... basically every different button you can press moves the pieces, and nothing else seems to do anything. Cool. Interesting. Yeah. I was about to say, you look really unfamiliar. Do you have a different character model to the one that you had in the European version? No, he almost undoubtedly doesn't. It's just that I'd never really used him very much. Okie dokie. Let's... yes, it's alright, I know. I presume it's doing that every time, because it doesn't know which of these levels you'll play first, so by putting the tutorial in all of them, it guarantees that whichever one you play first, you will see it. Which of course saves them having to program in some form of feature which sort of tracks which one you've seen, and then after you've played a level, it remembers and doesn't play the message again. But given that it doesn't even seem to have a manual saving function, uses passwords instead, I would presume that sort of memory functions would be a bit too much to ask from a game like this. Which just confused me, because I'm pretty sure that the PS1 operated with memory cards, didn't it? Because when I was originally going to set up this project for the sake of playing these games, I was watching a video about the original PlayStation in order to get a bit more information about it, and the thank you, the bloke making the video was talking about the memory cards, and that was the thing that I'd never heard of before, so I was quite glad that I watched the video in order to find out about them. So yeah, I'm just surprised, because so did it have like the password as like a backup system if you didn't have the memory cards? Or maybe they were a thing that only came in later, I don't know, maybe they weren't compatible with everything. Goodness only no. Well, actually no, people who actually were around at the time and weren't like, you know, -2 years old, they would know, is the long and the short of it. Where was that hard rock? I feel like I did see it somewhere, except I've got no memory. Here we are. Excellent. Let me jump out of this thing for a second if I remember the bloody button. There we are. And then I'll pop this down. And despite the fact that it's got a fuse, which is fizzling, it will actually never go off, because I just want to step far enough away that it's not going to kill me. Is that so much to ask? Apparently, yes. Right, give me that, thank you very much. And now we will go on a little zooming adventure and see if we can with boring meetings. No, see if we can get back nice and quickly. Can't remember what the time for gold was, probably 2.5 minutes like before, so I highly doubt that I would have done this correctly, but never mind. Oh, giddy, I probably shouldn't be driving over the top of these geysers. That's probably horrifically dangerous. Oh, and the dynamite respawned. Oh, cool, so if you bollock it up, you can go back and do it again. That's nice, I like that, a little bit of idiot-proofing. I approve of this. I like it when games make themselves idiot-proof, because, well, I ain't the brightest spark in the engine. Okie dokie then. Can I skip this? Oh, I can. That's absolutely tremendous. I think we saw this one as well. You know that's not a bad water animation for 1999? Given that water is a famously difficult thing to animate. It's not a bad one, as animations go. Don't know why I just wanted to comment on that. I don't know. I do have this insufferable habit of randomly commenting on video game quality, despite the fact that I have no education, no experience, and no knowledge whatsoever about game design, and I can barely even program a simple mathematical function in Python. That isn't the point. The point is that we must be careful. We have detected some life forms, so try not to drill into the wrong caves. Use your scanner to detect the creatures first. There is also a teleport station down there. You can teleport down a tunnel transport to help you on your way. Try to find a red crystal. For us, you may need to use some dynamite. So again, 12 green crystals and 1 red one. Okie dokie. So when you say life forms, might you mean monsters? Hello, you very cheery looking chap. Giddy on. It's like someone's just fired a Klingon disruptor at it with all of his molecules. It just got mismatched in a great big soup of pain. At least I presume that's how Klingon disruptors work. I can't say that I'm much of an expert in this, but yes. Do they mean monsters? This would be quite early on to introduce the monsters. I can't remember when the monsters came around in the European version, but I rather hope that we do get to see one, because it would be interesting, and it would be an opportunity for me to screw something up, and presumably that's the only reason people keep watching. Otherwise, I can't possibly imagine you stick around very long if you didn't enjoy watching me bollock things up. Right then, thank you. So what are these blue things? Oh, they're boxes! They're boxes? They're boxes. They're not boxes I can drill. Okay, they're boxes. Why are they boxes? Why? I definitely can't drill these in order to open them, can I? No. They're just boxes. Okay. Why? Never in the entirety of the PC version or the entirety of the European version was there ever a box. Which admittedly is a very basic, sort of basic What the hell is that? I have no idea. Goodness, this American version is highly different. Man alive, the Americans took one look at the European version and thought, okay, fair enough, but how about we make it absolutely bananas? How about that? Man alive. This is really, really weird. Do you know what this round thing actually reminds me of? I can't remember when they were first introduced. There was that ninja theme that had them, that I forget the name of, and then there was that Legend of Chi or something. I can't remember what it was called. Which had like animal-headed people in it. Much later Lego theme, which also had this sort of round sort of disc things that you could use for trying to sort of get minifigures to fight one another, which I imagine never went particularly successful just by looking at them. But yeah, that sort of round thing. Oh, bollocks. That sort of round thing somewhat reminds me of that. Right, I have released a slug. Forgive me. I've made a bit of the boo-boo, but never mind. Let me climb aboard this thing here, and we'll see if we'll be alright. The thing is the geysers and the slugs and the monsters all have the same icon, so it's a little difficult to tell what's what, and whomst is whomst. I reckon if we go through here, we might be able to access that white blob, which might perhaps be the building. Look out for the large teleporter. If you teleport down a tunnel transport, remember that it can only land and take off from landing pads. Oh, thank you for explaining that, because no one in the European version did that. I don't know, I really do feel like, two bits of bloody hell. Okay, fine. What's the button for this? There we are. Yeah, I really feel like the American version, it does feel more refined. I presume it must have come out later then, because it does feel a lot more like they figured out any slight faults that the European version had in terms of things not being explained very well, or tutorials being missing, and then making better use of them in the level themselves, which is certainly something that I can get behind. I like it when things are explained to me, given that I'm very stupid. I find it highly appreciative. Oh gosh, can I really bother to go back and get that red crystal? I suppose I can reverse my arse over to lava and then slightly get bashed. Hey, at least the icon seems to flash a little bit, which is useful for actually communicating the fact that you're taking damage, because goodness knows I struggle to find that out from time to time. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. Speaking of LEGO themes, actually, it reminds me of I finished my thought about those bizarre sets I was going to tell you about from the Rock Raiders theme. Not just from the Rock Raiders theme, actually. I think the what the hell did I want this again for? The red crystal must be somewhere. There must be some hard rock I've forgotten about somewhere. Where? I remember it not. Unless it was down with the slug. Was the slug hoarding all the hard rock? That wouldn't seem wholly out of character. No, it wasn't. It also doesn't seem to move quite as quickly as they did in the European version, which again I'm very grateful for. Okay, well, I'm confuzzled. Oh, bollocks, I've stepped in the lava and toasted my feet. Thanks, mate. Would you like to restart the mission? Yes, please. I'll try to screw it up this time as well. No, there was a little Lego set that came in a little cardboard box, which had like 3 figures with their little stands and little cards behind them with information on them. Because if I remember correctly, that was the only set where you could get a minifigure of the Chief. Because there was a Rock Raiders theme, of course, which had several of, well, it had all the characters in terms of Docs and Bandit and Jet and Sparks, but none of the sets ever contained the Chief apart from that one with the little figures in the stands. Bit like trading cards, I suppose, which I suppose is where I got the idea from in the first place. But I keep doing that. It's very annoying. Okay, I don't seem to need to stand particularly far away from them. But yeah, I don't think Rock Raiders were the only ones that did that. If I remember correctly, there were definitely some Star Wars ones, because I remember there was one which had that would be the one that has the slug in it. There was definitely some Star Wars ones, because I remember there was one with Boba Fett in it, which I can't remember if that was the earliest. Right, heart attack over. Let's get on with playing the game. Can't remember if that was the earliest released figure of Boba Fett or not. I can't remember when those came out. But I think there were some others. I think there were maybe some Lego City ones as well. I genuinely can't remember. But I keep pressing all the wrong buttons. But hey-ho, that was just the madness of youth. I've left a crystal behind. Can I pick it up the way I picked up the spanner thing? With, like, the little chain? No. I tested it thoroughly and made scientific observations in a little notebook with a pencil and everything, and my conclusion is no. Oh well, never mind. I'm sure we'll survive this absolute tragedy. Yes, that was just the bizarre, random things that Lego liked to do back in the ancient times of much earlier themes versus nowadays, when they're all a bit different for reasons nobody seems to quite understand, myself included. Right then, give me a moment. I'm going to pick up these last crystals, and then we'll finish this level properly. Right, never mind the red one. I've got absolutely no idea where it is, and I've also got no idea where the teleport pad is, facing in the wrong direction. But never mind. It doesn't matter. We've only got Sparks level left to do, and then we'll have a look at the first sort of free play level, I suppose, to stick with vague Lego game terminology. That's the word I'm looking for. Yes, which presumably will unlock once we have completed. Oh no, it's already unlocked. Oh goodness. I'm sure Sparks feels very appreciated. Does that mean you don't need to do Sparks' mission, or you just need to do like 4 of the 5? I don't know, but we'll do this last tutorial one for the sake of consistency. There are still a lot of life forms down there, and you may need to defend yourself. We have beamed down 3 different tools for you to use. Remember to look out for red energy crystals. Okay, so the same sort of stuff as before. So yes, of course, Sparks has the double pickups, doesn't he? So he can what's the word I'm looking for? Get extra ammunition, that's what I'm trying to say, which of course is very useful in missions where you need to do violence. You know, if you had an incredible memory, you might be able to reverse the steps that you've just seen in order to do this, but you'd probably need to be Lieutenant Commander Data from the Starship Enterprise in order to actually achieve that. But, hey-ho, if you are Lieutenant Commander Data from the Starship Enterprise, and you happen to fancy playing this video game, you'd be ever so slightly better at it than otherwise. There we are, I did a bit of it. I hope you're proud of me. I think 4 of them are in the right place, which is about 5 more than I can usually achieve, so I feel quite pleased with myself. Quite pleased, indeed. Right, so when you say 3 tools, presumably you mean 3 methods of murdering. Or guns, as the Americans would call them. Right then, let's see what we can find. This is not a device for murdering people. This is a device for murdering people. I have to see if I can remember what the toggle weapons button is once we find a second one. That is, if we're going to find all of them at once, rather than being sort of staggered out to the point where we sort of find them a little. Would you stand still? Would you stand still? I know you've an awful lot of legs to keep stationary, but if you could manage it, I'd be highly appreciative. Thank you. Yes, I like that, because it means the enemy can be fought without you having to sort of worry about the enemy attacking you, which is quite a nice way of structuring a tutorial. These tutorials really are thought out quite nicely. Here's the bullets for a second gun, and here is the second gun. So how do I switch weapons again? With B, or whatever B would be. Whatever B would be if you were to do this on a PlayStation controller. I can't use this together. Bloody hell, yes I can, my giddy aunt! Well, that's interesting. This red gun has suddenly become an awful lot more valuable, hasn't it? Man alive! This is less of a gun and more of a bazooka they've given me. Interesting. Not entirely sure why they didn't trust a numpty like me with a weapon so dangerous, but hey-ho. Let's do a bit more giddy aunt. Let's attempt to do a bit more violence. I really hope the freezer beam in this game works a bit better than the European version did. And mind you, throwing tranquilizer darts while drunk would work more effectively than the freezer beam in the European version did. Giddy aunt. Stop it! Die! Die! You! Giddy aunt. They get very expeditious when they're short on health points, don't they? Aha! Here is the bullets and the freezer beam. I never actually find the freezer firer. Here we are. Let's see how this works, whether this is another sort of tracking run that fires off behind you in order to dissuade pursuers, or whether it just kind of comes out of the front, like most guns do, given I've never really heard of a gun that explodes out of the back, given that would be quite dangerous. Okay, well that seemed to work a little better. Yeah, well, its accuracy rating thus far is much better, so this seems more effective. Excellent, I am pleased. I should probably grab this, actually, for the sake of doing up my shield a bit. There we are, it's gone from a sickly yellow to a lime green. Excellent, I feel pleased with myself. Okay, let's see if the last 3 crystals are here. Plenty more bullets. Yes, indeed, so I imagine the last red crystal is going to be down here. So let me grab some more bullets. There we go. And see where this leads. Interesting, this is just sort of leading into the into a solid wall rather than us being able to see a cavern on the other side of it, which is I cannot be bothered to do this. That's better. That's better. That's better. I would want to shoot a creature with this. Does it kill it in one shot if I hit it with this? No, it doesn't seem to hit them at all. Okay, this is just some sort of handheld version of the laser they stick on top of the large mobile laser cutter. Okay, I ain't complaining. I'm impressed and confused and befuddled, but I ain't complaining. Okay, there's got to be a red crystal around here somewhere. Let me bounce over here. Ha 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 ha! I've got it! Well, we do now anyway. Hooray! Huzzah! Oh my giddy aunt. This is giddy aunt. This is somehow still quite tense about the fact I've got some weapons that actually frickin' function this time around. Right. I can really understand why people are respawning bullets as well. Goodness. What will they think of next? Well, what they think of next is a teleporter which can actually face south, which would have been used from the last level, but never mind. Okie dokie then. I like that. That was a nice little set of tutorials to go through. I much approve. Another cutscene or back to business? I generally can't remember whether the cutscenes come before or after the results screen. I'm going to presume the answer to that question is after. Possibly, or possibly not. Goodness only knows. Okie dokie then, it is time to play Trapped, which I can't remember if it was the name of a level in the European version or not. Although at least, again, assuming there's 18 levels as there were in the European version, then of course 5 of those European spots have been taken up on the tutorials. Right, 6 Rock Raiders have become separated. You must find them and rescue them. Oh, I see. I thought you meant, like, fix their divorces. No, you just mean, you know, like, save them from monsters. Fair enough. We've also detected signs of energy crystals, but your main objective is to rescue the Rock Raiders. Even though it is necessary for me to pass the level at all to get the crystals. That doesn't make sense. Never mind. Let's go Jet. I like playing as Jet because she can jump very high and thus can bounce out of the way of danger. Also, is it just me, or did LEGO have this bizarre thing when it came to women in their video games being able to jump high? Given that, if I remember correctly, that was also a feature of the LEGO Indiana Jones games, and possibly also the LEGO Batman games? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Maybe. Maybe at least in the first LEGO Batman game, but possibly not in the latter ones. I genuinely cannot remember. It's been so long since I played them. Never mind, that is a bizarre and useless piece of trivia that nobody needs to be fussed about, and they were made by a completely different company to the company that made these, so there's not a hell of a lot of point in me trying to see patterns where in reality none exist. Let me move some bits of Axel's face around for no particularly well-explained reason. I also love that you can carry on doing that after the loading screen is finished, if you so desire. I like that. It's cute and silly. Oh goodness, there's vicious people everywhere. There's great big blobs of rock everywhere. Why are there these great big blobs of rock? Okie doke. Let's have a little wander around and see. Oh, hello. You were tremendously lost, weren't you? You could have wandered over to the other side of the cavern where I beamed in, could you? Of course not. Giddy aunt. Giddy aunt. These people need all the help in the world. Right, have a smooch, and then we can. Then you can go home again. Giddy aunt. Some people need just a bit of nannying, don't they? Oh well. Look out for ore to build a tunnel scout. You must rescue the trapped rock raiders to complete the level. Yes, indeed. Okie doke. Let me see. Okay, so on the ore front, there's no denominator, so that doesn't help me figure out exactly how many pieces of ore I'm going to need without going over to the teleport pad. So let's see if we can find out how many pieces we need. 4, which is twice as much as the amount that we needed. How the hell do I get out of this thing? Thank you. Which is twice as much as we needed for making the tunnel transport, which was a significantly larger, more powerful piece of machinery, because that's how common sense works. Who cares about physics when you've got a story to tell? In fact, this game doesn't even have... Well, it sort of has a story, which is told in the cutscenes, but it's the same story as in the European version, it's the same story in the PC version, so there's not a lot of point in making a fuss about it, given that we've all seen this story about 50 times by now. Okie doke, what the hell is that? Oh, it's a bit of cloud. Sorry, the bit of cloud that was right here was sort of moving a little bit, and it looked a tiny bit like a tiny pair of burly shoulders, and I got a little worried that it was a monster, but from the colour it would have been a rock monster, which of course wouldn't make any sense for it to be appearing here on a lava level, so turns out I wasn't just seeing things, I was being presumptuous and silly. Righty-ho then, let's zoom about a little bit and see what else we can find. Find some more people. Can I? No, I can't just land on your face, which is a small shame. But never mind. There we go. I don't know. Maybe I'll like put a marker on them or something. Like maybe I'll like give them a radio or something, which allows the LMS Explorer to sort of lock onto them, a bit like a comm badge in Star Trek or something like that, perhaps. Goodness only knows. Don't know why I'm trying to rationalise a gameplay mechanic from before I was born, but you know what I'm like. I like to do silly things like that. Right then, if you're confident enough, you can try to drill your walls to find your way to the red crystals. Yeah, it's not really a case of confidence, mate. It's more a case of necessity, given the fact that we haven't found all of the people that we need to find yet. But okay, we found all of the green ones, and there's a small beast down there that we can see on the old map. Can I do this as well? Oh, I can. Which goes some way to highlighting rocks that you can drill. Should really be drilling through this one as well. Although saying that, with the amount I've drilled through the bit of loose rock, maybe it would be wiser to do that. Oh my giddy aunt, this is turning into a Benny Hill sketch. Stop it, leave me alone, you stupid scorpion. I'll blow you up with a bit of dynamite if I have to, crazy old kook. Get ya. How about I come back to my tunnel scout and we see if there was anything else in this direction, because there was another... Okay, there was another couple of walls here that we could drill through. Yes, look, this is where the last 2 peeps are. Let us get them. I also like that they were a little yellow blob, which is exactly what you'd see if you were looking at them from directly above, due to their little yellow faces. So I think that's sort of cute. See, that guy was legitimately trapped, right? And in fairness, the guy who was sitting on a little island in the middle of the lava could vaguely be described as being legitimately trapped. But the couple at the beginning, I think they were just too lazy, right? It's like when kids go out on a ride on their bicycles and then they call up their parents and say, "Can you bring the car and pick me up because I've cycled too far and I can't be asked to drive back." I feel like that's the sort of situation that we've got ourselves pickled within too. Right then. Should I use my dynamite under the blast through some of the loose rock, or should I save it? I feel like saving it would be the wise thing to do. He's just getting stuck on something. Can I kind of lure you in this direction? Because I've noticed that the enemies always stop once they're out of view. So maybe if I could like get far enough away from him. Yeah, look, you can see on the map that he's stationary now, so I know that I'm safe from him. That's good. That's a nice. Well, I don't know if there's a gameplay feature. It seems more like a limitation, probably, in order to prevent the console of the time from overworking itself. It would limit the movements of things that weren't on screen in order to lessen the amount of computations it had to do. That would seem vaguely reasonable. This is also a little unusual because we're actually just drilling out an area here rather than discovering a new cavern. Because the European version was very much about breaking down walls in order to access new caverns to find crystals and people, versus the PC version, which was much more about drilling out extensive areas of rock. I presume that the reason the European changed that was, presumably I found the fourth one there, didn't even realise, was of course because you've only got the one person, you haven't got a whole team of people in order to. Might as well use this, I suppose. I can't really think why we wouldn't at this point. Huzzah! We did it! Oh, and it respawns as well. What was I panicking about wasting it? Yeah, because of course you've only got the one person, you haven't got a whole little team of rock raiders that you can dedicate to drilling stuff out. It would make sense that they don't want to make you waste loads of time drilling out pieces of rock if that's not going to be the most fun thing in the world to do with your life. Righty-ho then. That only took about 43 minutes in order to get through those 6 levels, so let's have a quick look and just see whether we've got. Oh, I've managed it within the time frame as well. That's frankly a shock. Yeah, let's just see if that's unlocked another set of 6 levels. Probably should have taken a photograph of the password, but never mind. We've got the recording to fall back on, so there's that we need to worry about. Yes, indeed. Supply base. River Run. Web space. It's ahead of its time. Move on up. Or thawed out. Maybe we should do. Oh no, we did have. Yeah, we had some in the ice biome, didn't we? Oh, go on. Why don't we do one? Let's do River Run, because that will allow us to do some more bandit-related mischief, I imagine, such as holding up banks. Oh wait, no, wrong type. Right, ride the underground river and find the ore you need to make the laser cutter. Beware that we have readings of something large down there. Oh goodness, is it a sea monster? I do sincerely hope so. Let's be bandit, because that's the only one that makes sense. We're going to have another one of those rock whales. I rather hope that those are featured in the American version as well, given that they're such a unique characteristic of the PlayStation version. I kind of hope that those get added into Manic Miners at some point for some bizarre purpose. I think that would be quite a cool little thing to do. But yeah, well, I think just due to the sake of the time, and obviously I imagine the later levels will be longer, so if we do an extra mission in this level, rather an extra mission in this video, we'll have a little bit more time next month for getting through the next 5 levels without me having to rush through things too much, or letting the video get overly long. So hopefully this will equalise out the rest of the videos, if indeed folks would like to see more videos on this, or whether you're happy enough just to see this one. Really, it's all up to you. Goodness knows you shouldn't trust me with the decision. Right then, we need 10 green ones, 2 red ones, and a partridge in a pear tree, and a bandit who walks very slowly. I always forget that. Right, how much ore do we need? 6 pieces! Goodness, that's a lot of pieces of ore. Frankly, it's a paltry amount in any other version of the game. By any other version, I mean the only other version, but never mind. Okay, we got some blasting shells, which is fantastic, and I frankly feel that's the more accurate way to describe these things rather than Oh my giddy aunt. I kind of regret being Bandit now for no other reason than he's such a slowpoke. I guess that's the price you pay for walking on water. You get to walk very slowly, like one of those would you press the button scenarios. I'll have this if you don't mind. We'll just have a quick look around and see if there's any guns. No, there's not. Let's get in here. We're safe. Okie dokie. Here is our first bit of ore. Tremendous. Oh, goodness. It's nice to play this again. Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, it's nice to play this when I'm not getting blasted to bits. Did you get out of the thing for crying out loud? Thank you, Bandit. Yeah, I enjoy playing this for the most part. It is very different, but it's so nice to play a beloved game from my childhood, despite the fact that it was old by the time I was young. But it is lovely to play a game like this and to explore it, having never seen it myself and having known nothing about it. And judging off at least sort of one or two comments that had come off one or two videos in this series, some folks who enjoyed the PC version, or some other folks who enjoyed the PC version, also had little information about the PS version. So I hope that this has been interesting for some of you to explore what the PS version has been like as well, rather than just me showing you stuff that you already know. So isn't that bully? Right, let's leave this here and blow it up. No, not excellent. Awful. Excuse me, Mr. Salesperson, but I walked into this shop yesterday and I bought myself a large supply of dynamite, and I would like to have a refund because your dynamite didn't work. I put the dynamite next to the big piece of rock, and I left the dynamite there and exploded, and it didn't do any good. Thank you for giving me some more functional dynamite. Seriously, if this piece of wall doesn't get blown up properly, then I might not be able to get the ore I need in order to complete this level. That's better. Giddy aunt. That dynamite must have been damp or something, because it didn't work. Okay. What a silly life I live. Bloody hell. Okay. I'll pick up these bits of dynamite in the hope that they function, in case there was any other hard rock that we left behind earlier. I remember seeing a piece of hard rock near the place where we picked up the bullets for the red gun, but I don't remember any. Ow, my bum. My bum's been zapped. I'm not Frankenstein's monster, you're not allowed to do that to me. I don't imagine that's where Frankenstein put his electrodes onto his monster, but I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, it's a sensitive area. It would certainly get the electricity in there nice and quick, wouldn't it? Okay, anything along this wall that's worth looking at? No, okay, so there's no reason to get there into the, there's no need to get into the den of scorpions. Okie doke, I reckon we've got everything we need for the small mobile laser cutter now, so, let us see if I can remember where the hell I left it. Which probably is nowhere near here, but never mind, I'm ever so stuck on the edge of the scorpion, but don't worry about that. Let's see if I left it over here. Mind you, with the dynamite, maybe I don't need it. Let's see. I'll bring it down anyway, just for the sake of it. But it says pressing the wrong button again. There we go. Maybe these red ones. Maybe these double up as ammunition for the large for the laser cutters as well. There we go. Yeah, so I don't really need to do that. I don't really need the laser cutter. I probably need it later when I run out of stuff, so I'll go back and get it. And it seems like I can set the dynamite off very close to my current location without actually carrying any damage. Plus, with the lack of expediency that Bandit walks, it's probably, whoa, it's a lot faster to use this thing. Okay, right, let's try and do this slowly and gently so that I don't actually crash into anything. Yes, indeed, this does act as bullets for these as well. Excellent! Right. Let's do some shooting. Boom! Excellent. Oh, and I can slip through there. That's tremendous and lovely and jazzy. Oh, goodness. Move your bum. Move your bum in a different direction. Oh, my giddy aunt. Everything's fine. I don't know what you're worrying about. I'm just going over here because I want to shoot a scorpion in the face. Okay, nice. This is trouble not having that map out. Right, where's my friend gone? By friend, I mean mortal enemy. Specifically mortal, because he's about to die. Die! Excellent. Tremendous. Brilliant. Let me just get out of this for a second and drill this so that we don't waste the bullet, given that we wasted it on the Scorpion earlier. Right. Oh, my giddy aunt. It looks like there's something vicious on the other side of here, so let me make an absolute ass of myself by trying to kill it. Oh, don't worry, sorry. It is only a little spider, there's nothing to worry about. Giddy aunt. Although actually it's quite a large spider compared to the, at least compared to the very flat ones we dealt with in the PC version. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, let's just relax. Everything's going to be fine. They're giving us a gun. It's not going to be fine. Let's just carry on driving and see what else we find. Oh, hello, sir. Indeed, we do find a rock whale. I remember correctly. You have to shoot these guys, and then they sort of bounce forward a little bit, and then you can see that, which is pretty cool. Because I'm not entirely sure how well I showed that to you last time. Right. We're going to have to leave the machine here, I reckon, because, of course, it can't walk on water the way the Bandit can. Okay, let's relax. We don't need to find any peeps here. We have found the teleport pad, and we found the last crystal, so I'm just going to have a quick look through here in order to see if I can find these two crystals. Let me change my gun as well to the red... Let me not change my gun to the red one, because, of course, I don't have it. Hello, sir. How are you today? Do you mind if I move your bottom a little bit? I have to make a bridge with you, don't I? Which is going to be fun on a Christmas bun and take for frickin' ever to do. Okay, well I guess I will do that because I do want to get as many of the red crystals as I can. This is going to take quite a while. Yep, this is going to take quite a while. Maybe we should do a little jump cut while we wait. Go boing! Thank you. Much appreciated. Right then. Strange mechanic. What were we teaching our kids back in 1997? That we were trying to teach them if you shoot animals, they will perform infrastructure projects for you. I feel like this was a bad lesson to teach our children. Never mind. Let's get out of this and get in the teleport pad. There we go. Right then, I think that's a more reasonable time frame on which to finish, and well, it'll be a month's time, so definitely by the next, unless I catch another one, hopefully by the next time we play this. If indeed you would like me to play it some more, then my cold will be quite so bad, and you won't have to put up with my voice being quite so rough. Oh, I got a silver one and everything. Excellent. Okie dokie then, that was what I'd give to blow you all to Kingdom Come. Never mind, you can't have everything in life, and a lot of dead slugs is one of the things you just can't have. If I remember correctly, there's actually no way to ever kill a slug. Even if you get their health down to 0, they just burrow into the ground wherever they're currently standing. Never mind, again, didn't write down the password. Never mind, just have to get it in editing. But yes, next month, if you would like, I can do some more of these levels, and we can see what other interesting things the Americans have in store for us, or if you think that's enough of the PS1 version, then we'll do that. It's entirely up to you, and I'd be appreciative of hearing your opinion if you've got one. But yeah, I do like this American version. I can see why people prefer it. It does have a few more little sort of bells and whistles in terms of the sound effects and things, and I think the tutorials are a wise thing to do. See, now this makes it tricky, because now I'm asking myself, if I were to recommend an order in which a new person plays these, having never played either of them before, would I say play the American version first, or would I say play the European version first? Because on the one hand, the American version has these tutorials, which are really good for you figuring out and testing out each of the characters' abilities, so that you can then go on to use those in later levels. But then on the other hand, if this has got like more sound effects and bells and whistles and so forth, then they're going to get to the European version. I feel like it's a bit of a downgrade. I don't know, really. It's a bit of a swings and roundabout situation. There isn't a perfect solution to that, but yeah, I quite like this American version, and I can see why other people like it as well. So hope you enjoyed having a little look at that, and do let me know if you would like to see some more of it, one way or the other. So yes, I'd rather hope you enjoyed that. I apologise for being such a stupid idiot the whole way through it, but hey ho, if you expect anything else, then then you really do need to have your expectations rationalised by somebody, and goodness knows I'll do it if I have to. So thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen, for putting up with my incessant prackle. Look after each other, and good night. That's not the key, is it? What's the key again? Ah, yes. I'm supposed to press the backtick button and not the escape button, but of course I couldn't see it because I put the drawer away and didn't want to bring the drawer out again for the sake of making a noise. Gladly, I thought up this long-winded load of rubbish that I could say in order to completely distract you so you didn't realise the video hadn't finished. Sorry.